sit down somewhere. No, I don't know why I am.
I'm not. I gotta go to bed. You gotta shower and get all this grease off from your car, or oil.
In an article on the consequences of sloth posted on the Health Source Consumer Edition database, Bradley Cardinal, a professor of School of Biology and Population Science at Oregon State University, and Benjamin Jelinek, student, note that there are 10,080 minutes available each week. Of those minutes, the Surgeon General recommends that we exercise 1.5%. That is only 150 minutes for adults, which, if you think about it, isn't too much to ask to increase our health, our happiness, and our lifespan. Today I'm going to talk about the effects of living a sedentary lifestyle, why people don't exercise, and why we should exercise, in hopes that you will realize how truly important it is and how easy it is. Let's begin by looking at the effects of a sedentary lifestyle. In an article on Obesity in America, What's Driving the Epidemic, on the website health.harvard.edu by President and Fellows of Harvard College, they note the average American spends 55% of our time, waking hours, sitting down. You may be thinking that we are still moving the other 45%, but in that same article, it states even if you exercise, too much sitting is bad for your heart. On the website webebscohost.com by the Mayo Clinic Health Letter, even if you exercise for 30 minutes, it is not enough to offset the negative impact caused by sitting and watching TV for several hours a day. A study done by Journal of American College of Cardiology, which used 4,512 adults, and of those, the people that sat for 4 or more hours were 48% more likely to die during the study than those that sat for less than 2. This is a study done by Ted Mitchell, Tim Church, MD, and Martin Zucker, who wrote the book Move Yourself. In it, they did the mortality rates by fitness, a study done in 1989 of more than 110,000 people. As you can see, the mortality rate was higher for those that did not exercise as much. Living a sedentary lifestyle increases our chances for coronary artery disease, hypertension, colon cancer, obesity, functional capabilities, and diabetes. So if living a sedentary lifestyle can do all of this, why don't more people exercise? There are many excuses out there, and many I have used myself. For instance, I enjoy running, but every once in a while one of my knees will act up, so I will take a week or 2 off. But I need to remind myself, and we need to remember, that we have other muscles that we can exercise. For instance, I can do some curls, I can do some calf raises, I can do some squats, I can work out my other muscles and keep my body in good form. Another excuse I have heard others use, and one I have used myself, is I'm too tired, or I didn't get enough sleep, which is a pretty poor excuse if you think about it, because most people who know anything about exercise knows that it gives you more energy. In an article called Get 12-Hour Energy on the website prevention.com, written by Natalie Gringrich, she talks about research done in the University of Vermont. They found that taking a 20-minute walk, just this little speck, will give us 12 hours of energy. This is due to the endorphins produced during the walk. Probably the most common excuse, and we've all used it, is we don't have enough time. We as college students can attest to this because in our spare time we are usually studying. But we need to remember that if we aren't taking care of ourselves, we can't take care of anything else as well. There are exercise programs out there that are short, 4 to 12 minutes, and everyone knows that we need to take care of ourselves. So having listed all the cons and getting rid of the excuses, let's talk about why we should exercise. In an article called Buff and Brainy, posted on Science News by Christian Bromley, he notes, the new research suggests that physical exercise encourages healthy brains to function at their optimum levels. Fitness promotes nerve cells to multiply, to strengthen their connections, and protects them from harm. It also benefits damaged and diseased cells as well. So what does this mean? It means that they have also found that the research shows that exercising can prevent Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. According to a study published in 2004, Fred H. Gage of the Salk Institute in La Jolla, California, and his colleagues took rats and gave some running wheels and some without. They allowed them to exercise for a few weeks and then dissected them, and they found that those that had the wheels had a higher activity in a gene that gives us greater brain benefits and triggers other neural health prompting chemicals to get moving. In April 27, 2005, Journal of Neuroscience, Coleman and his colleagues speculated that the research done on the rats could benefit animals and people with neurological disease and injuries. In the study, Coleman's team used mice that were predisposed to disease similar to Alzheimer's. He put some mice whose symptoms had barely begun in cages with wheels and some without wheels. After 5 months of exercising, they dissected the brains and found that the protein that is found in Alzheimer's and causes the problems had developed half as much in those that had the wheel as opposed to those that did not. A similar study was done for Parkinson's by Michael Zygmunt and his team from the University of Pittsburgh. They reported their findings in the Society of Neuroscience meeting in October 2005 in Washington, D.C., where the rats that exercised produced protein that helped protect the brain cells, which helped reduce the risk for Parkinson's disease. So if that doesn't get your motor running and make you want to exercise, there's an article called Exercise and Mental Health posted on gelnetgelgroup.com by Margaret Alec, PhD, and Kristen Key. They note that exercise helps relieve tension, anxiety, stress, anger, and depression. It helps enhance a person's general sense of well-being, improves physical fitness, builds self-confidence, promotes positive outlook. It also increases energy levels, mental alertness, improves sleep, which all contribute to good mental health. As you can see, the benefits far outweigh living without exercise. So in conclusion, we need to remember that living a sedentary lifestyle will reduce your lifespan, your quality of life. It will give you higher potential for disease and unhappiness. So if you have a sit-down job and you cannot prevent sitting and being stationary, stand up every hour, take a little walk around, take the stairs instead of the elevator. Every little step counts. Excuses are just that, excuses. It's easy to come up with an excuse, but keep in mind, once you have stopped, it is a lot harder to get going again. So if you are injured, remember you have other body parts, you can exercise. If you're too tired, remember that exercise actually gives you energy. If you don't have enough time, remember that it's more important to take care of yourself first, and then other things will get taken care of as well. Remember, we should exercise because we were designed to move, to produce endorphins and find happiness. So find what makes you happy. Whether it is playing a sport, going out for a jog, dancing, or lifting weights, take care of you. You will find greater peace and happiness if you exercise.